This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. The content discussed today is a summary of complex regulatory requirements. Listeners should consult with qualified legal counsel to determine how DFS 500 applies to their specific circumstances. Now, let's dive in.
Now, if you look at some of the breaches that have occurred, a lot of them can be attributed to vulnerabilities in the infrastructure or in the applications, or whichever mode of entry it was. DFS has noted that, and since the first version of the law, they have placed great emphasis on vulnerability management and detection. Currently, DFS requires that a vulnerability test be conducted, a vulnerability management program be designed using a risk-based approach. Now, here's a big problem. That's what they said in the first paragraph of this section, which is design a risk-based vulnerability management program. Later down in the section, they say the covered entity must conduct at least on an annual basis a penetration test exercise. I have had that confusion for many a team, and it just seems that the legal opinion has been that the risk-based program overrides the annual penetration test requirement. Now, when it comes to penetration tests, they again ask that you conduct that using qualified personnel. They are silent on the scope of the penetration test exercise. But they do demand that the penetration test exercise be conducted from both inside and outside the organization's perimeter. Now, in the previous version of the law in 2017-2018, they said that, let's say if you did a penetration test exercise, you don't need to run a continuous vulnerability monitoring tool such as Nessus. Now, in the current version of the law, they demand not only penetration tests, but also periodic vulnerability discovery exercises. So like a vulnerability scanner, you do that. Now, the other thing they want to do as part of this is ensure that any vulnerabilities that are discovered through either of these exercises, they are remediated, with remediation priority given to those risks or vulnerabilities that pose the highest risk to the covered entity. Again, a risk-based approach. The whole program, the whole law, any program that you're going to build, it will be based on a risk-based approach. The idea behind the two exercises running concurrently or one after the other is to ensure that organizations discover weaknesses proactively before attackers do.